Hey, what's going on, guys? Booster Whips here. Today we're going to be installing the RGB tail lights by AEMTuners. This is for the Tesla Model 3 and Model Y. So these are the RGBs. You guys can see it has the smoke look with the white lenses, inner white lenses. And these can be used as regular tail lights, and the RGB is just like an add-on feature which you can enable and disable, also app-based. So let's go ahead and get started. Very first off, obviously you get the full set, left and right, two pieces. This comes with two different lengths. This cable here, which is the one that has the brown cable, this one's just gonna go through the center. It's gonna connect this piece here with the opposite side piece together, which I'll show you on the video. Then there's two of these, two different lengths, one short one and one long one. The long one, you're gonna end up using it on the driver's side. The kit also comes with these two adapters, but this is for older Model 3s generations, which do use like a 4-pin based, or the Model Y. So you would have to replace this if you're doing the Model Y. And the connector you're gonna replace is this one here on the back. So you guys can see on the Model 3, it's more a 3-pin. So this is for 2022 versions. You use the 3-pin. Some older generations year of the Model 3 uses a 4-pin, so you would use this and swap that out on both sides. So for now, in my case, I don't need that. It comes with a remote. This is to enable and disable quickly the RGB feature. And for this installation, you're gonna need 8mm socket wrench and a simple pry tool. Also, you're gonna need some tie wraps, of course, for cable management and cleanliness of the install, possibly some electrical tape as well. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, the very first thing you want to do is go ahead and remove this out of here. You can do it with your hand. If it's a little bit hard, go ahead and use some type of nice grip material gloves, or also a I wouldn't use a wrench here because you might scratch it, but it should be very like hand tight. So this comes off, and then there's gonna be two 8mm nuts on the inside, which I'll go ahead and I'll show you how to remove those out of there. So let's go ahead and go to the next step. The very next step is to go ahead and push the liner out this way. There's gonna be two nuts you need to remove, which is this one and the one on top here, which is near the connector. So we're gonna go ahead and get that going. And what I like to do is use my hands for the final thing, so make sure that that nut doesn't fall anywhere. There's one, and there's two. Next thing you want to do is go ahead and pull this connector. There's a red tab here that you need to go ahead and push back, and then there's pressure on here, so you're gonna go ahead and pull the connector out, and that should release this part of the tail light. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the tail light now. So this, you just gotta wiggle it until fully comes off. So you guys can see there is a rubber grommet here. You want to make sure that this stays on the vehicle. So if this did happen, you want to go ahead and remove this. You might have to use some type of pry tool to take this off and put it back on. If you don't do that, then the tail light, the new ones that you're going to put on, are going to be unbalanced. All right, went ahead and put in the new tail light on here. Be sure to ensure that the two pillars there are properly connected or pushed in securely, and that the two screws are aligned into the hole so it goes in perfectly. So that's perfectly aligned there. I'm gonna go ahead and replace this wheel here, screw wheel. And tight. It's perfect there. Now we're gonna go on the inside. We're gonna connect the main connector, add the two 8mm, and then route these long harnesses so we can get it ready for the other part. You're gonna go ahead and connect the main harness from the vehicle to the new tail light connector. Secure it with the red thing here, red clip. This one here is where one of the long extra harness is gonna go, so we'll plug that in now. Let's go ahead and put in back the 8mm nuts to secure the tail light. So I'll go ahead and I'll secure this with the 8mm socket wrench, and then we'll move on to this connector. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and grab the long one of this cable harness. I'm gonna go ahead and connect it here. It only goes one way, male to female. There it is. The excess of cable, what we're gonna do is route it down here, which I'll go ahead and I'll show you. You gotta remove this panel that's down here to go ahead and route it all the way up, and then that's it for that. Let's go ahead and work on the top piece, which is on the trunk side, and we'll go ahead to the next step. All right, for this step, this is where the Pry Tool comes in handy. What you're gonna do is, I had already pushed this off, but you want to go in from the center here until this whole piece comes off. And you're gonna go ahead and remove this connector out of here. This one, he pushes back. That comes off, and then this whole piece comes off. Alright, after pulling the liner, you're gonna go ahead and remove this connector, which is the main harness. Same thing, you're gonna push on this red release pin, pushes back, pull the connector out, and then there is an 8mm nut there. That's the one we're gonna go ahead and take out. Alright, to remove the tail light, you're gonna go ahead and push up. It may get stuck in this area. Takes a lot of patience here, but you're gonna use the pry tool to push up. You might have to add some force, not too excessively, so you don't break any lands or anything like that, but you are gonna go ahead and push this for a while until that piece is released. Go ahead and remove that, and we're gonna go ahead and replace it with the new one. All right, we went ahead and replaced the new tail light here. We routed all the cables, which will look like this. All the cables were routed here, and we went ahead and already secured the 8mm on there, so make sure you do that. And now we're gonna go ahead and connect the connections. All right, so we went ahead and connected the long harness here, but before you do that, you need to route it all the way from one side to the other. So the harness does come from here, as you guys saw when I connected it, and it's gonna come all the way down here. You need to remove this panel that's here, and the cable runs all the way to the back, and I'll show you from the top where it comes out. Remove this grommet that's out of here, route it. It's routing back up here, back into this grommet. You might have to cut. Some people have managed to put it through this same tube that's here, but that's very complicated. So it goes in there, routes, you need to push it, comes out from here. Basically you're gonna route it all the way back to here. Get it connected. I already have it tie wrapped, and we move to the next step. All right, the next place is to go ahead and do the passenger side. Same procedure as the driver's side. The long harness cable, you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna route it through here and in where the other one goes, all the way up here, and here's where all the other connections go. So you have the long harness one with this color, goes connected there. The secondary harness that comes, which has this brown, blue, and white cable, it's gonna go from that side of the tail light to this side, which harvests this connector here, which is the main connector. So you're gonna go ahead and connect this main connector onto here. Obviously this here, male to female connector here, and then there's one small plug here. This one up here. Everything's color coded, so everything just match male to female color coding here, and that is it. So all this cable gets tie wrapped. I'm gonna go ahead and tie wrap it here. We're gonna go ahead. Of course, you have to install the top tail light. I forgot to mention that. So yeah, so you need to do the top tail light. Same procedure as the driver's side. Bring in all the connections and cables down this way, and then connect what I just described. Alright, so I tie wrapped everything to this big main harness here. I just did like a nice little bow. Same thing on this side, did a nice little bow here. These cables that are coming out of the grommets are going to be a little bit loose unless you do a nice precision cut here so that the cable lays on there. What I plan to do is tie wrap these here to this harness and call it a day. That's pretty much it. We're gonna go ahead and put back the piece that goes here with this connector, and we'll fire them up, see how they look. Alright, so here's brake light with reverse. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the hazards on. There you go, this is brake on. You have sequential turn signals. And here it is with no brake, with the hazards on, of course, no brake on. This is your regular daylight running lights with no brakes. Alright, I went ahead and downloaded the app. This is one of the modes. You can change between single colors. It has about 10 modes on Android. I don't know about on iOS. But once when you have it, this is where you use the remote. Basically, if you press it, automatically disables it for normal mode. If you guys have any questions, comments, go ahead and drop them below. Thanks for watching. Until next time, Boosted Whips, I'm out. Check out these tail lights at AEMTuners.com and use AEM-Boosted Whips discount code to copy yours. Until next time.